Good news, everyone! It seems that after last week, we are once again back to play this beautiful game of Pathfinder 2nd Edition in our Twitch stream known as A Tale of Dice. Last week we're off because of my personal heartbreak. Well, the breakups are always a bitch, but holy shit, this one took the cake. However, I did break gender roles, and I stole her fucking shirt. This is mine now. So, ha! There you go. And
Wait.
I'm feeling a lot better.
We get to cancel sessions whenever there's a breakup, though?
Not if you're poly like you, Charlie.
Not for you, Charlie.
Nope.
You have new relationships every other day. You don't count.
We'll call it like this. We'll call it like this. Anyone can cancel a session if they become single. How's that?
Yeah, fair enough.
Hey.
Yeah?
I'm poly too, but sometimes heartbreak hurts, y'all.
Yeah, but if you still
But
have like
I'm not-
other partners,
But I'm not Charlie.
I have to
I am
agree with you on that.
hoping
You
that
are indeed
the-
not Charlie.
Yeah, we even have different
the two people
windows
I'm
and
dating
stuff.
right now are gonna be there for a while, and if one of those ends, yeah, I'm gonna be really fucking sad, even though I do have other partners. But
Fine. Okay, anybody can end a session or cancel a session except Charlie.
yes,
All in favor?
Yeah.
hi.
There we go.
You forgot one thing, though. I am producer. Therefore, I get to go.
Oh fuck, yeah, that's true. He has to
Damn
be
it.
here.
All right,
Is that why
fine.
you
Let's.
still haven't sent that little workaround so other people can host every now and again?
Yeah, I don't want to give that power away.
Exactly.
Understandable. Let's at least all disagree that for tonight we will continue our beautiful game. So, shall we play a game?
And we're back.
There we go. So, to jump in where we last left off. Our heroes, known as the Pack, had gathered in the vast city of Farwater as a group of random travelers, but thrust into adventure as a magical plague enveloped the city. As people from outside, who were not yet afflicted or in league with the dark powers behind this disease, you were gathered up by the local guard captain to investigate this plague outside of the books.
I'm fixing it.
Oh, what is being,
There we go. Oh no, only
Good?
only Vincent is still working. I love it. No, you
Okay.
can continue talking though. Continue talking.
Very well then. As your investigation enveloped, you quickly realized what was behind all of this. It seemed that somewhere in the past, a vast magical fish creature known as an aboleth, or a veiled master, had somehow infiltrated the city and had begun to shepherd different individuals that were susceptible to it, to listen to certain echoes of power that permeated the landscape, guiding them into wielding these powers, and in so doing, increasing the echoes of powers themselves. However, with this foul magic spreading throughout the city across different individuals, it seemed that with this power, the plague itself also manifested. Therefore, you set out to, one by one, confront all of the different people that had fallen in league with these dark powers, to either kill, persuade, or otherwise halt their manifestation of these powers. And it seems that now, at long last, the last one of these people in league with the Aboleth has been dealt with. As a corrupt lieutenant within the local guard known as the Silver Sentinels now has been rooted out from within and lies bound in a cell where he belongs. With that, and all of the other individuals of interest being dealt with, you now find yourselves at a nice place, actually. The guard captain, known as Bradley, has congratulated you on a, well, job well done so far, and with the corrupt people within the guards now being dealt with, it seems that the local guards stand behind you in the endeavor to rid this city of he who calls himself the Shepherd. All of you are now gathering at the end of a very long night in which you detained this corrupt lieutenant known as Dante, and are beginning to wonder what kind of other things need to be done before you can go onward and confront the Shepherd and hopefully rid this city of his evil. That being said, however, there are still a couple of loose threads. First off, a subordinate of this corrupt lieutenant, known as Sergeant Uther, had escaped your grasp and is now still run amok in the sewer systems of this city. In these sewer systems, the once again enslaved lackeys of this shepherd, known as scum, small fish-like goblins, still roam. And next to that, during this last evening or set of days, a couple of you have some personal story threads that have become apparent by virtue of our very own chat. Edge, you already had a beautiful monkey companion by the name of Nox. However, as a tiefling yourself, it seems that you had attracted the interest of some devilish benefactors? As a small imp made himself simply known as Imp, and already struck a deal with you, taking up refuge within Nox, possessing him, but most of the time just lying in wait, still waiting for you to converse with Imp and to see what this is all about.
Yeah, I'm still not completely happy about it.
Crowan, you were confronted at the beach by a spectral woman, a ghost that horrifyingly lamented your name as she tried to get close to you, which you and your companions needed to deal with. And all your companions could see that she seemed to rattle you a little bit more than any normal ghost would. And last but not least, Olam. As a galaxy panther with a beautiful fur of a starlit night, you were brought to this plane by your goddess Saloon. But next to Saloon, last evening, other forces made themselves known to be of interest to you, as the very galaxy itself outstretched itself and tried to commune with you, which you allowed, and seemingly twirling through the night sky, eventually found yourself upon a vibrant red, orange, and yellow nebulae, which seemed so out of this world that it didn't even carry a name until you gave it one. Shh. And now, looking up, you can still see this one nebulae ever so brightly, warming you at every turn and step. With all being said, you are still at the cells where Dante is being kept. You are still, if you so wish, allowed to interrogate him further. You are still in the presence of the guard Captain Bradley, your benefactor and quest giver throughout all of this, who now seems to have a little bit more leniency with allowing the guards to help you. So, pack members, in the midst of the night, as the adrenaline of everything perhaps begins to subside a little bit, and you can finally breathe some fresh, safe air, what would you like to do?
I don't think we have any questions left for Dante. He basically spilled the beans. So
Pretty much. You were very intimidating.
Yeah.
Crone did what Crone does best.
True that.
Yeah. So Tarush turns to the captain. The hunt for the escaped Silver Sentinel must, of course, resume. Would it be a fair assumption that posters would be hung up throughout the city?
Not only that, but in the morning, I will see to it that all the endeavors of the Silver Sentinels are brought to Uther's doorstep. Corruption within our ranks will not be tolerated in the slightest. And you can see now this captain of the guard, this high-level fighter, standing not menacingly but powerful, also here to clearly make a display of his force and his command now that the corruption has been uprooted. In his silver-polished, becaped, full-plate armor set, clean-shaven now with his silvery white hair, nicely combed to the side, perhaps even a little bit of makeup on.
Very well. Then I suppose we should... Tarush looks around. We should take our leave and have a well-deserved night's rest.
Oh, yeah, also well.
I believe you've earned at least that this evening.
Very well. Vincent, you need to put your microphone closer.
Okay. Shit. Okay. Put myself closer.
So,
if you wish to leave this place, I will see to it that you are brought safely to shore. And Bradley snips his fingers, and in so doing, if your business has concluded here for now, you were all brought to a vessel from this small island off the shores of Farwater back to the mainland, and are easily capable of making your way back to the lake house where all of your rooms reside.
Do you want kind of make a debrief session during the boat trip? I think that would be a good one.
Very well.
Okay.
So,
basically, during the boat trip, Kroen gathers up everyone and,
well,
he's gonna... Oh?
I want to do one more thing. Tarush will be the last in line as we leave the room. And as everyone has left, he stands still in front of the doorway and turns around after making sure that the rest are, moving on. And he turns to the captain. Oh, one more thing, Captain. During the mission, there was an incident with a burning boat. If I may send the person whose boat it was to the Silver Sentinels for compensation, I think that would be the best course of action.
Go ahead and make a diplomacy check.
Nah, more like a deception, right?
Yeah, you were such a dick. There was no incident. You set that shit on fire.
Yeah,
for
your
no
choice.
fucking reason.
Your choice. Your
But
choice.
it's the same number either way, so that's gonna be a 24.
24. The man sighs deeply, breathes in through his nose, and says, "This is a hefty sum of collateral damage, Tarush. But, nonetheless, you were capable of keeping up your end of the bargain. As strangers, you have proven yourselves, all of you, to the Silver Sentinels to be capable and trustworthy. You have invaded this island without loss of life, even keeping Dante himself alive. See it as part of your payment. I will see that recompense comes to this man."
Very well. And I give him instructions on where to find the man. You are a kind man. Thank you. I'm sure you will make one of your citizens, the citizens that we now serve as well, very happy.
But our job is not yet over. Come see me one of these days when you are ready to continue our hunt for this dark being. The might of the Silver Sentinels is now at our disposal once again. And while Uther will have to be dealt with, the larger problem still looms. See to it that your affairs in order. And of course, your due reward lies also within my quarters.
Perfect. Then we'll see you soon. And Tarush takes a little jog to catch back up with the rest.
Can I try to trip him with my staff? I want to just like as he comes jogging up, I just want to like hold my quarterstaff down just a little bit to see if I can
This
trip
beautiful game actually has rules for exactly tripping, so go ahead and make an athletics check.
Athletics.
Yeah, against the reflex DC of Tarush.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of the wrong character. My athletics is actually pretty okay. Not when I roll a 4, for a total of 10.
Total of 10. Tarush, what is your reflex DC?
More than 0.
Yeah, but like, is it
15.
15. All right. So it's a normal failure. So you don't make an ass out of yourself, Edge. But Tarush, as he comes jogging, he sees the pole on the ground and just daintily jumps over it with one of his last steps.
Well, no, he just stops.
Oh.
He stands in front of it. He stops. He looks up at Edge. You're a fucking bully. Get the fuck away from me.
Oh, it goes again. Okay.
I just remain silent.
One of these days, I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, okay.
You can certainly try.
The big words.
Big words.
I think I know my first question to the imp.
How much for a hitman?
Oh no.
Oh no, just what is Tarush's weak spot? I'm gonna do it the bitch way, obviously. Mind fuck the shit out of him.
Right. However, as tensions still run high, it seems, between Edge and Tarush, you are brought to the south side of the island where the harbor resides. Here you can see one heavily wounded guard just sitting on a bench next to the harbor master's house, getting just like patched up, pat on the shoulder as he sees you come by, looking at the ground, as you almost killed this man last night. You were led, however, by a couple of other guards to one of the simpler vessels of the Silver Sentinels, are brought aboard and are now en route to the mainland. And as this quiet boat ride in like the deep hours of the night, we're talking like 3 to 4 a.m. in the morning, it's pretty much still wind-wise. You can still hear bustling sounds coming from the city itself, unaware mostly of what has transpired this night. And it is calming. And here you can have your debriefing.
Gathers everyone up to sit out around the table or whatever we have in the boat is available. First, he's going to start with everyone. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate everyone for a job well done. We succeeded in a difficult mission, and I'm happy that we all made it all out in one piece. However, I noticed a few things that I want us to think about once we for tomorrow, for the time being, since it might lead us to our doom next time. First thing, I don't want to single anybody out, but unfortunately, I would like to note that some actions were rash, to say the least. We almost killed a guard that was innocent, and that was against the orders of our employer. We also revealed that our employer was a captain against his wishes. So luckily, it all came to a good conclusion. It went well. But so if our negotiation skills were any lesser, or our luck another way, this could have ended very badly for not only us but also for the captain. So I just want people to think about how the mission went, and wonder how they've gonna done it better. And I would do so as well.
But you can't always plan things, right?
No, I'm just saying that some actions were directly against what the captain was wishing, which I can understand is due to the circumstances happened. And maybe if I could suggest a rule, before you do something that might not be able to turn back, maybe try to get the approval of the party first. But that's not a thing that's always gonna be applicable, because you can always ask permission.
But
I should stay.
Edge is just staring at Tarush during this entire speech from Crowin, just like daggers.
Isn't everything you do something you can't turn back?
If I move this glass towards, if I topple this glass and make sure it can be moved again, it's fine. If I throw it down on the floor and break it, it can be turned back.
But if you move the glass from one place to another, you can't make it that it never went there.
Well, you can move back. If it can be reversible.
But it still was there in the first place.
Yeah. But that's not the point.
I understand your point, Olam, and I do not want to get too deep into the semantics. What I meant was that you can't repair or restore.
For what it's worth, I apologize for the boat. That was my bad. The guard, however, I did what I had to. We had no other option there. He needed to be neutralized, or we would have faced the entire guard being alerted to our presence, as well as the sergeant. I stand by that action.
May I suggest an example of... Oh, sorry, Edge?
There are so many ways we could have neutralized him without almost killing him, no.
Such as?
I have a sleep
Name anything.
We tried to lie to him, we tried to deceive him.
We have a man who is incredibly intimidating, but you chose to hurt him to the brink of death.
You wished to give him an opportunity to shout. You wished to use one of our few charm spells for just a single lowly guard.
Well, you love to talk so much. Why didn't you just bore him to death with one of your stories?
Because Crowan had already tried to talk to him, and that failed. That is why I took the action. It happens.
You have a point, Tarush, that you believe you did the best you could. Although, but like Jack already noted, it was true that Jack had a sleep spell, and you yourself had to use a spell to take him out. So I'm just saying, there were other avenues you could have taken. I understand it was the only avenue you saw fit at the time. But try to maybe next time broaden your horizons, maybe rely more on other people than just yourself. We are a team.
Edge,
but again,
will you
good job.
Shut the fuck up, you drama queen.
You're talking to Edge or me?
No, Edge.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, that wasn't Edge. That was me doing the snaps for
Well,
Cohen.
before that, Edge was
Calling
talking,
Tarush
so
out.
still.
Okay. If Tarush really does make that comment, shut the fuck up, you drama queen, he's gonna get a bit angry. He's gonna, okay.
I'm probably gonna try to punch him again. I mean, nobody calls me a fucking drama queen, especially not the drama queen of the group.
Rowan?
Cohen's gonna slam his fist onto the table and say, okay, this shit ends now. Edge, Tarush, find a way to work together, or at least not fight in between, or I'll beat you up myself.
Edge is kind of into it. But we'll sit back down.
Look at it. The tiefling cannot take anything seriously except for their own ego. Crowan,
Yes.
I despise that I have to defend myself. But it was Edge who has now repeatedly made physical acts against me. Punched me. Just now again. Tried to slap me with her staff.
I think it was more of a trick.
Still, I could have been seriously hurt again. I will make a retaliation the next time that Edge tries to touch me. And Edge, you will not see it coming. You will not know what food you can eat, what drinks you can imbibe. You will not know what bed you can sleep in without it turning into snakes that will strangle you at night.
Wait, are you going to kill Edge?
If
Because
Edge
that's
touches me
probably a
one more
problem.
time, if Edge tries to hurt me one more time, I will.
But what if she does it not on
They.
days? I'm sorry. What if they do it without wanting to do it?
Then I'm sure I can differentiate between the two. But so far, Edge has most certainly intended to hurt me every time.
What do you want to say about this?
He can try, but I will not be responsible for the consequences of his action.
I think this is where the problem lies. There is no responsibility shared between either two. Both Edge and Tarouche take no responsibility. Back on the plains, back in my town, when you're plowing fields and you have two horses, but they don't work together, you don't get straight lines, and we need to get straight lines right here. So you either have to find a way to work together or make an agreement, like make a contract or something.
Agreed.
I'm perfectly willing to pretend that Edge is not the person that they are. But every time I've tried to keep my mouth shut, every time I've tried to just ignore it, the comments, the attacks, they keep coming. And I get angrier. I make them back. But, again, the act of even attacking me, uncalled for.
There has been a lot of hostility between the two of you. Yes.
Do you see a way that maybe do you see a way where Tarouche and you can get into a more amicable interaction, to say the least?
If you'll remember the last time you shouted at Edge to not use violence at me, Edge, and I quote, said that they could not make that promise. That is where my problem lies. I'm willing to just ignore how much I dislike you. I have done that with so many people for so long. But you keep pushing at me, Edge.
So long, what are you, 12 years old?
Again, you keep pushing at me.
Because you keep spouting bullshit. You're a child. You know nothing of the world. You know nothing of me. Yet you walk around with the air and the arrogance as if you do. Seriously, when were you born? 2 months ago? Get some experience under your belt and I might start taking you seriously. Until that time, I will not be listening to anything that comes out of that bejeweled hole you call a mouth.
You see what I have to deal with? And he looks at Crowan.
I'm not a judge here. I'm just a mediator. Edge, I understand your animosity. I really do. But it does not help us. Can you find a way to maybe tone it down or work up? Should I suggest something maybe to help us out on that point?
I can tone it down. Of course I can.
Okay. Do you want to?
Not really. He invokes an ire in me I have not felt in years.
Oh, I'm the child here. You're unable to contain your emotions. Oh, I'm so mad I have to keep being a dick.
I ignore that and I look around the group. But for the sake of everybody else here and their safety and their lives in combat, I promise I will tone it down.
Let's keep the violence outside of the group. Let's keep the inside of the group at least a bit unscathed.
Yeah.
I think that would be smart.
So, to sum up, I think we agreed to keep the snide comments to a minimum, if not completely remove them, and absolutely no more violence towards anyone from the party. Do we agree?
But what if someone turns evil?
Okay, Alan, I understand. Well, we have had it when magic is going.
I love that we have a toddler in the group, like, but what if? Stupid hypothetical question.
But why, Mom? Why?
Why? Can you tell me why? What is this?
But what if they throw lemons?
Can you guys hear me right now?
Yeah,
It's
you
really
You were
soft.
whispering.
So,
Like,
yeah,
low.
Charlie just a little bit before said that my mic was clipping, so I tried to put it a little bit lower. Is this way too low for you guys?
You can turn it up a bit, but I can
Sounds
also
good.
just increase the volume. No, do turn it up a bit, please.
Like this? Better?
Yeah, much better.
All right, there we go. At this point, two things have transpired. First off, holy shit, the Moonra, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. Just handing out money as if it just grows on trees or something. I guess apparently most money is like paper based nowadays, so I think it does actually grow on trees. But then again, fucking thank you so much. That being said, there's also one other person with you on the boat. As a golden-haired, high elven woman, Lyra Drakos, the wizard enchantress, is sitting there, and during this conversation, she has been keeping an ear out to all of you, but mostly just like fixing her makeup, procuring a small little like hand mirror, and with a nice little concentrated prestidigitation cantrip, just began to like smooth off all of the like dirt that she had acquired during this small little scuffle. But then eventually, as she seemingly is done, she like very clearly slaps closed the small hand mirror, at which point all of your attention is also drawn, and she just goes, well, this is all very interesting. I was actually under the impression that if you guys would be fighting anybody, it would be me as an outsider. But seeing as you have a little bit conflict within the group, perhaps I do feel much more a part of all of you than I previously had thought. That being said, though, this endeavor is far from over, and I agree with Crowan that if we are to hunt this shepherd together, the last thing we need is to attack each other.
Well, yeah.
We agree on that, and then I guess that will be that.
Very well.
Well then, is there anything else that needs to be said about the mission?
Yes, when are you going to take me out to dinner?
Well, I believe it was you who was going to pay for a seaside themed feast, wasn't it?
Fine, fine. But nevertheless, we do need a date. And you need to unwind.
Tomorrow.
Are we going to eat out?
Oh my god, yes, go for it. Edge is not gonna stop her. This is amazing. Edge is just stacking in the corner.
I think Crown's gonna jump on that occasion to say, Olan, if you want to eat out, I think Edge, Jack, and I will happily want to pick a place for you.
I think Tarush will if the date goes right.
Yes, I would prefer eating at a place with you at a different moment, Olam.
So you are just going together?
Yes. That is the intention.
Okay.
But happily, it seems that your companions already are very willing to take you out to dinner tomorrow as well, Orlan.
You are not going to make any weird plans, are you?
Oh.
Do you hear some ringing too now?
Well, Olam, isn't most of the things that you are experiencing these days considered strange to you?
Well... But if it's strange for you, then it's a problem.
I can assure you that I'm very well versed in fine dining. It will be very far from strange to me.
But the one-on-one... But like the plans we have to worry about. Like that ringing thing you had with the you know?
Oh, no.
Like,
the plotting we will do for the takeover of Water Run shall be entirely for our own benefit, and not that of the shepherd.
Okay, that's fair.
like Olam might not like recognize this look in Lyra's eyes, but the rest of you could very clearly see the like little bit of sort of motherly instinct, or like big sis, like, oh, so cute.
I'm not cute.
Not on purpose, perhaps, but
Like, I'm just imagining starry-furred Puss in Boots half of the time here. But unintentionally, you know?
and a lot taller.
He was
A lot
tough.
trim.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
That being said, as Lyra tries to also diffuse the tension a little bit, I believe that the rest of the boat ride home goes by fairly silently, or are there other things that you would wish to discuss?
Well, Crown is not going to start about it, but I think there's something people would want to talk about that hasn't been talked about. So Crown is just going to sit in a corner and watch this maze. Look at this maze.
I'm gonna sit next to Crowan silently and just again offer him my flask.
I'll accept it, I think. Yeah, that sounds like a helpful thing for today.
Listen, I'm not going to pretend that I am holy and that I have never made mistakes in my life. So if you want to talk to somebody who might understand what you've been through, you can come and find me.
I'm gonna need to think about that.
Of course. And you don't have to. It's just...
I
when
appreciate the offer.
traumatic shit happens, it's difficult to talk about. But sometimes it's easier to talk about it to someone you don't know that well than to someone you do know. Just know that if you ever need to talk about it, there will be no judgment on my end.
Crowan, what was your lore skill again that you had?
Legal.
Legal, alright. In that case, give me either a occultism or religion check, your choice. Or arcana could also work.
And I think I have occultism, and maybe I think I'm gonna go with occultism.
Very well.
I'm gonna go with Let's see. Cultism. That's 19 on the roll.
19. Okay.
Yep.
Now that you have now that you've had some time to settle down a little bit, the tension of what had transpired with this spectral image subsiding, at the very least, your rational working mind kicks in again. And perhaps it is simply a reflex of you after years in law enforcement dealing with these sorts of things. Or perhaps it might actually be a little bit of a coping mechanism to at least figure out the rational, non-emotional details of what has transpired. But you begin to think of what had happened and begin to note a couple of things. There are many, many different kinds of incorporeal undead creatures.
Yeah.
But this image of what you saw was so clearly in the form of an actual humanoid that it would be of a ghost variety, which has some very specific characteristics. This seemed to be a ghost or ghosts in these very humanoid forms that are clearly representing a deceased person are basically just souls bound to something.
Oh shit.
Mostly they're bound to a certain location where things went wrong. But perhaps they could also be bound to different places.
Persons?
Which, who knows? You've never seen it happen before, but if a ghost could be bounded to a certain place, the place that it perished, the home it grew up in, the place where it had committed a foul sin, then why not a person? And what you also know is that these sort of ghosts, while they can be dealt with in the manner that you did, this is but only temporarily. To really rid yourself of such a being, it needs to complete whatever thing is still on its mind, be that some certain task, some certain regret, or some certain sin that needs to be alleviated. Could be very many things, but until this task has been fulfilled, it might very well return.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm thinking. I'm not sure if Corin's gonna share that information just yet because he's not prepared to explain himself why the ghost is here. And while I think about it, I'm just gonna remind Wouter. I'm not sure if you noticed, but Amunra bought the story beat.
I got it.
Okay.
I have to wait until you guys get to a place where I can.
Okay, fair.
Well,
But thanks,
summon it
Amunra.
properly.
Good.
But hell yeah, Amrunra MVP of this entire game already. Holy shit.
I'm gonna think about yeah, he's not gonna bring it up too soon. Yeah, he's gonna think about it a bit more.
All right. If that is the case, and all of you are patiently waiting for Crowan, but realizing that, at least for now, he's not yet ready to talk about what has transpired or disclose any more information.
So
you make your way. Oh,
Bruce sits next to Jack as he just slumps down. Nice one about the plowing straight together.
We just need to find a way to work together.
Oh, it wasn't a pun.
No, to be honest, no. No, I come from an agricultural society, so yeah, it was actually a metaphor, not a pun.
Very well. I thought it was both.
I didn't thought about it being a pun until this moment.
When we spoke of plowing in the field, we meant something very different. My bad.
Oh god damn it.
And he gives him a little, like a slight tap with his hand, and then just kind of dozes off until they get to the coast.
It feels like such a old uncle behavior, and then dozing off, making a comment and dozing off.
Oh, I love it.
I'm
Yeah.
just playing with Jesse a bit.
That was it, Wouter.
Very good. Coming back to the shore then, you step off of this boat, greeted by other Silver Sentinels, led throughout the gates into the city proper. And as the nightlife of Farwater outstretches you in all different directions, warm hearth fires coming from different places, smells of drinks being spilled across different tavern floors, you make your way across small, narrow streets through the heart of the city, all the way back to the lake house. Here, you see the 3 large domes once again, one of which houses all of your beds and hopefully a long night's rest. However,
Before we get the long night's rest, Edge is just gonna beeline straight towards Zorel, just grab him by the scruff, and just drag him after them.
not just yet, you little one. Because as you enter the establishment, Edge, you want to beeline for Zorel, but he seemingly also wishes to have all of your attention, as he is now standing behind the bar, arms crossed, his long, braided black hair all the way to the middle of his back. He stands a little bit tense, beautiful groomed black goatee still covering his blue water ganassi or water elemental physique. But as soon as all of you enter the abode, he quickly beckons all of you, come on, and leads you to a small little room behind, like a small storage space. And as each and every one of you enter, he turns towards you, Jack, and goes, Jack, while you are a friend of Edge, and therefore a friend of a follower of Avandra, you are very much welcome within my abode here. But can you please explain why a rat-ridden zombie just walked up here with a note to you? And he beckons towards the side of the room where you can see a quote-unquote person dressed in farmer's attire, and you can see that his quote-unquote belly is writhing a bit, as if small critters seemingly are scurrying about. This person wearing blue overalls reeks of both manure and other different scents that would be associated with farm life, but also with death. You smell like different what some of you might recognize as embalming fluids to preserve this person, as the zombie, which seemingly is of the same like orcish heritage as Jack is, with a large straw hat, just standing there slowly, not breathing because he is a zombie, with a small little letter pinned to his chest. And Zorel grabs it, pulls it off, and hands it to you, Jack.
A messenger zombie. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
I would make a joke about this being your brother, but that seems a bit distasteful now. And Tarush walks up to the zombie and just starts investigating.
I think it might be.
Fuck! Edge wanted to do that, but they're not going to now. But Edge is gonna like give Jack a little fist bump because that shit looks awesome.
What does the note say?
As you open the note, it says a simple message. Dear Jack, hopefully everything is going well in the big city. A lot of rats seem to be bred quite thoroughly this year. So we reckoned that you might make use of them wherever your quest may take you. Therefore, we have sent you one of our companions to see if it can help. Love, Mom and Dad.
Oh, that's so sweet. They send a messenger zombie with rats. That's so sweet. I'm not quite sure because he's a bit decayed, but it might be Georgie.
Make a perception check. Make a perception check.
Wait. Are your mom and dad the rats?
21.
Sorry, what was that, Jack?
Oh no, wait. I'm bollocks. That's a 19.
19?
Yeah.
You take a couple of looks, you know the telltale signs of Georgie, and damn, Georgie's keeping up well for like his age. Like normally these sorts of well, quote unquote sessions don't last all that long, but Georgie's keeping up well.
He is. And those are a lot of rats. Where am I gonna keep so many rats?
Yeah, so you open up, like you lift the shirt a little bit to take a look. Either you or Tarouche does it as he investigates what this
Tarouche,
is.
lift up the shirt of my zombie, please.
Yeah.
Oh
and you
yeah,
can
he will. Tarouche is like, oh my god.
And you can see that he is completely disemboweled, and in the open cavity that is his torso now rests a very quaintly made wicker basket with like a nice little inlay and a dozen different rats just scurrying about. And as soon as the cloth is lifted up, all of them just go make eye contact with you for a moment, just like sniffing a little bit.
Hey there, little buddies. I think you're here for Jack, aren't you? What kind of magic is it that can bind you across? Wait, where are you from again, Jack?
I'm from a quaint little town. It's a bit east from here. Wait, east or west?
I think west, because east is probably into the ocean, right?
In that case, west.
Oh.
Oh, if you go east long enough, you know.
Zarel holds his hands like together in front of his face and just goes like the SpongeBob me, like, boy. It goes to Jack. Jack, while a lot of things are permissible within this city limits, necromancy is a thing that is frowned upon in many different reaches of the world. So also here within Farwater.
Is it illegal though?
Yeah.
That is a difficult question to answer. Let us just say that the Empire tries to let everybody live together, and let's just say that Farwater and the vast reaches of the entire province of Silvershore, for that matter, is a place that where this is frowned upon and where a less than friendly landscape is created for these sorts of practices. You will not be arrested directly, and it seems that by God knows whatever luck, this creature found itself here safely. But other than that, I leave this mess in your hands.
I think I'm thinking either we keep Georgie with us for a bit, just have him wander around, or I could send Georgie back and we just take the wicker basket, and then we have like a bustle of rats.
Bustle rat.
It does seem
You don't
that
have familiar. Would you like 12 rats?
a rat swarm as a familiar.
Yeah.
It does seem, as the rest of you are taking a look, that as soon as Jack says the name Georgie, like the zombie already like puts its head up and looks towards Jack, seemingly quite capable of understanding and following, well, orders, directions, what have you.
Oh.
Okay, so I smell.
Mm-hmm.
Does the corpse seem to be currently decaying?
No, quite well preserved, actually.
All right. I'm gonna.
Well, go ahead
I
and
wanna
make a
make a-
perception check for me, or a nature or medicine.
I think I want to do occultism, and I want to try and identify if some sort of permanent gentle repose has been cast on the corpse. My worry mostly is long-term decomposition.
Very well.
Is that okay?
Very well. Go ahead and make an occultism check.
24.
What month
24.
is it again? Like year? What season are we in?
Right now, you guys are taking a look at the notes. Right now is the night of the 21st to the 22nd of Platina. So basically, there would be the equivalent of like mid-January right now. So it's still pretty cold.
Yeah.
But yeah, 24.
Oh, sorry. Yes, 24 in occultism. You take a good look, and you cast a little cantrip to detect any magical essences. And while you do, of course, find a not powerful but stable necrotic energy emanating from Georgie, you take a good look at it, and no gentle repose seems to be cast. This creature doesn't seem to be maintained by magical means. So go ahead and make me either a nature or medicine check. As you just like investigate the body a little bit.
Same number, not very high. Oh, but I roll 17.
17.
18 total, sorry.
18. As you take a look, you don't find any magical essences that might preserve this body, but you do see that this is... It's weird, but it's good craftsmanship. Like, it has been very nicely disemboweled. All of the organs have been stripped away. All of the quote-unquote meat has been, for lack of better terms, preserved in embalming fluids and the like. Also a good amount of like overtones but quaint perfume has been doused over the body to like not mask its scent, but at least make it a little bit more pleasant to the people surrounding it. So this just seems to be a very well preserved dead body. Like you have known of practices where perhaps even the forefathers of your lineage, Tarush, had been embalmed and preserved in like large crypts and the like, where they wanted their body. Oh, we've lost someone. We've lost a Crowan. Crowan faints in the background.
Rowan faints.
Like too many undead
He
creatures
was
in one night for Crowan.
touching
I gave him
inside
too much of
the-
my flask. Oh no, his poor human constitution.
Like basically, this is a like somewhat mummified person, made very well preserved body, and after that, with some necromantic energies, just set on its way. It's weird. Like all of you have this connotation of necromancy, like being. Rotting corpses, evil, blah, like decomposing, maggots rolling about, and stuff. But this just seems pretty well crafted.
With some good craftsmanship, you can come quite far away. Especially in January, the fact that Georgie is still this intact in January, I think it's because of the cold nights.
How long ago did Georgie die?
That's a good question, I think. It should have been around the summer, I believe.
I'm impressed. Really?
Yeah.
This is an ingenious way of mummification of sorts. And then it's like a leather suit made for rats.
Lyra
Wow.
peers over and just sees like the outline of your letter with a heart, mom and dad, and just goes, Jack.
Yep.
Is this like a family business or?
Well, most families in our village do such things. I think, looking at Georgie, I don't know for sure, but maybe my dad is this.
Right.
Does look like his work. Yeah.
Of course, all of your people in your village are necromancers then?
Well, to a certain extent, we have a few. Not everyone. We also have bakers and farmers, and we can tend to help each other a bit. There's a few that can help out.
Right.
What do they use for the bread?
We make flour, of course. We have all sorts of grains. We try to make a polyculture with multiple sorts of grains so that we won't get diseases that quickly. But we also have druids, of course, to keep the diseases at bay.
So it's not all just rats?
And we don't put rats in our bread. No.
Okay, no, just checking. If we ever visit your parents. Although,
Rats are not keen for eating. There are many other things. There's a very good cat pie. Though. No, I'm just messing with Yola.
no, it's fine.
It's a bit like bunny.
Sounds like
I
we
could
need
try.
to visit this village because I need to meet your parents, Jack. This sounds amazing and so
They are
interesting.
quite happy folk. Yes.
Do I understand correctly that you're also a necromancer, Jack?
To a
Yes.
certain extent, yes.
We have already seen him put a corpse to life again. Have we not?
It comes in very handy, actually. Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
So much has happened over the past few days. I'm not surprised. Some details slip our minds. You had your own. Speaking of which, we might still want to talk about your own little encounter with undeath there. But for now, enjoy the gift, I'd say, right? But I
especially
think maybe
when
we
you-
should disguise him.
Maybe. Or, yeah. I think that's a good plan. I think Georgie is a nice incubator for the rats for now. It keeps them warm, and they are happy when they're cuddled up. But Georgie does maybe need like a bath.
As this conversation is going on, Jesse walks off of your arm and enters the wicket basket and basically just goes up with his hands, and like all the other 12 rats turn up their hands and he goes for high fives with all of them. As he is sort of like, because he is a magical rat, he's sort of their like boss or something, it seems.
Yeah, in the hierarchy of rats, Jesse is a tad bit higher. Yes.
And as this conversation also goes on, you see the worried look of Zorel getting a little bit of a twinkle of interest as eventually he says, "Right then. In that case, Jack, I have a proposal for you. As this is a temple of Avandra and a place where lost people find respite, all of you have already seen that we have a vast library which houses many different stories. We will house Georgie, it is,
Yes.
for you, if you so wish, in exchange for you telling us all about this village of yours and their customs. We wish to record it and add it to our library. Will that be...
I want a copy of that manuscript.
I believe that all of us are, as your companions also seemingly have interest in all of this, I believe we all should have a good conversation about all of this with a couple of drinks.
I can tell
Wants
you all
nothing
about
to do with this.
I can tell you all about our agricultural endeavors. Yes.
Very well. It seems your little group is gathering quite the crowd. As he looks at Lyra, and you think back on your scum buddy that is still upstairs, just like waiting his turn. And now, Jack, you have a zombie.
Nice.
So if you look up the simple stats, I believe. Let me just take a look real quick. It is the -1 level zombie. So not really usable in combat or anything, but you do have a nice little companion right there. Let's see here.
While you look up the stats,
Zombie
Tarush,
Shambler.
Tarush pulls the tunic back down to cover up the hole, and stands back up and like slaps Georgie on the face, like, "Good man," and then turns around.
Oh, and one thing, the zombie shambler can have like all kinds of different special abilities. This one has, very fittingly, the ability Infested. Because it has like a swarm of rats. Not really infested in like the creepy sense, but it just houses a couple of rats. So if at some point a hefty blow would befell Georgie, then the rats would spill out, and it would become a nice little swarm of rats below him.
Fun fact:
Sounds good.
a group of rats is called a mischief.
Huh.
A mischief.
A mischief of rats. Well, there you go.
As somebody who has a group of
That's
rats, I can most
adorable.
definitely agree.
That
And-
is so cute.
Hey, you know what a group of awesome adventurers is called?
That's what I'm telling you. The pack.
A pack. Yeah.
We got there eventually.
Yeah.
However,
Maybe a little bit less of the gin there, Charlie.
No, I just stutter sometimes.
let's see here. Can't find it.
Wait, are pina coladas made with gin?
No, rum.
Yeah. Okay, I was very confused that we did it wrong last night.
Title of your sex tape.
No, there's no wrong in that sense in Charlie World.
Well, they say it's like pizza.
It's less fun if you're just
You
watching
have to cut
someone
it in
eat one.
triangles before you can eat it?
No, even when it's bad, it's still good.
You get it delivered to your house.
You pay for it, Johnny, because you're a whore.
Wait. That's not how a whore works, Vincent.
A whoremonger. Who cares?
What is going on?
I love this.
Just so you know, Cohen is not at ease with this whole necromancer business. He's not gonna judge you yet, but he's like, I'm
Oh, you
not
get
sure
used to
like
the
that.
smell. Yeah.
Yeah,
It-
yeah.
No, but the
First- the
smell, from
first
what I
ones are
understand, is
always-
good, right?
Yeah,
okay.
it's a bit
Yeah.
funky, but it's like when you open a kombucha or something.
Fair.
Crystal's face when you said that. Oh my god, I'm living for your expressions tonight. They're so good.
I'm just like surprised at the insane accuracy of the statement Maxime just made.
And also that we have kombucha in this story.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's fermentation, which is like sort of dead stuff doing stuff.
Yeah, you can ferment all
sense.
sorts of stuff.
It's literally like a zombie, but a drink.
However, if if your zombie starts fermenting, you did something wrong.
Or you're
It
a
happens
fungal
sometimes.
necromancer, you know, those are things too.
It's very nasty when you're working outside on a field and all of a sudden it explodes because apparently it started fermenting. It's a whole mess, but it does for the next year. It is good for nutrition.
Yeah, good soil, I imagine.
It's you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, but now you do have to find another corpse, so I imagine...
Yeah, and we don't have that many. I mean, we're not killing people to make corpses. It's we get what we get. Yeah.
Bring it.
So I don't know if we want to do anything else with
No.
Georgie?
Whew.
No, I think Georgie can. Well, I won't say get some rest, but that's not really what we do here, Georgie, is it? No, I think Georgie will just stay.
I say we take care of that outfit, the disguise tomorrow. Maybe a cloak, face mask of sorts.
Doctor's outfit.
Well, that would
No,
maybe
it's
draw
like
too
that.
much attention, right? I was thinking maybe an odd foreign traveler or We did just find a demon mask.
I'm not putting my mask on this zombie.
Ah, fair. That
It's
would
probably
also
what
draw
demon
too much
mask
attention.
Do it.
Also sounds very intense.
It's a zombie with a demon mask! Run! No, but, yeah. I say we have that drink that Sorel was offering
Yep.
Very well.
to pay.
In the meantime, I have hastily been searching for my correct notes, and as you have bantered on for quite a while, I eventually found them, so now I am capable of continuing what I actually wished to do. So thank you for filling that time. As you begin to make your way to a table that is a little bit further away, the main domed area of the lake house once again being completely open with large stone pillars holding up this large open domed structure with all of different kinds of tables. Now, at this evening, you see that a lot of the different tables are filled with different patrons from all across the city and beyond. Colorful figures in all kinds of different clothing, walks of life have found their way into the lake house as they are sharing their own stories with each other. And perhaps even some of them also being recorded just in the same similar way that your story is about to be recorded. However, as you begin to make your way to said table with Zorel in tow, as he gathers up a nice little notebook in like the same nice little blue and greens of Avandra, very clearly made to record all of these different kinds of things. And now that you see it, you actually can remember that you saw these sorts of books in the library beneath the lake house as well. Tarush, because Amunra will not hold up. As you begin to walk, a powerful but familiar sensation makes itself known to you. In the days of yore, where you hail from, the very capital of this continent, Iorise, a multi-layered citadel of a city, built with 7 different rings on top of each other to depict the actual 7 heavens of Mount Celestia itself, filled to the brim with powerful wizards and the like, which govern not only the capital, but very well the entirety of this continent, where magic is a simple day-by-day occurrence, and where a lot of people actually pay their taxes or alleviate some of their taxes by offering their spell slots, their spellcasting services for the vast information network that the Empire houses. In this way, some people had before offered up their spell slots to cast very powerful magics, to connect different people by telepathic bond so they can converse across great distances. This sensation is what courses through you right now, as seemingly some such connection has been established. As it fills you with an invigorating sense of power, it reminds yourself of the days of yore where these sorts of things were normal in everyday life. However, this sensation also quickly sours as you immediately, as part of this spell, realize who is contacting you. And with a shiver down your spine, you realize that it is Irhim. Good evening, Tarush. I hope this link finds you well.
Uncle.
I've come to ask you for some information about your current assignment. I've not heard word from the Cerulean Circle since your arrival in Farwater, and multiple days have already passed. What are you doing?
Yes, Uncle. Tarush, to the rest, is just kind of silently and oddly staring out in front of him for a moment, and then he looks down at his drink as if deeply contemplating something of deep sorrow. Uncle, Things are proceeding well. I have established a connection with the Silver Sentinels of Farwater, and I have been in contact with the Cerulean Circle, but I have asked them to keep this silent for now, for it involved going after a rogue member of our order.
Go ahead and make your choice again. You're walking that fine line, either deception or diplomacy. Your choice.
I think I'm gonna go for diplomacy.
Very well.
Like, I'm withholding information, but oof. That's an 11 total.
It seems that your honey words find their purpose once again, but as a member of your house, Tarush, your silver tongue is known to me. So quit dabbling. I have sent you there on a very important assignment. Hunting rogue members of the Cerulean Circle is not your charge. You are supposed to scour those wastes in search of the item I had sent you out for. Now, it seems that perhaps you are in need of a little bit more persuasion in this matter. You have always been a child of fickle means. So,
Uncle,
it seems...
please, there's no need for such action. My actions have been related to the mission you have sent me on. I know I am to hunt down something of value for you, but I have been, in fact, following a thread, a red line, in investigation of an item of ancient origins, an ancient creature of the sea that might have a connection to ancient times, to the ancient times of the dragons as well.
He sighs for a moment, thinking this over. Go ahead and make another diplomacy check for me.
Oh, that's better. 16 plus 9, 25.
Reaching all those ways back, you say?
Yes. And I believe that if I am to kill this creature, its innards would be of great value to you, but perhaps its mind holds knowledge of ancient places now overtaken by the ocean, by the water, no? I hope to be able to interrogate it before I am forced to end it in self-defense. Would that please you, Uncle?
You can almost mentally hear him swivel in his chair, warming a glass of wine, peering out of a beautiful leaded window as he takes a sip and responds, "Very well. I will give you this courtesy and this leniency for now. However, you, of all people, must understand that our house still has a permanent presence to maintain. And quite frankly, you have been silent for multiple days, which cannot stand. So, on the short term, you will also enter the Cerulean Circle, let your face be known once again, and you will enter into a new opportunity. It seems that a certain high-placed analyst within the Cerulean Circle, who normally only operates from the capital of Artelos itself, Artesia, one of the other provinces of our great empire, has widened its reach to even envelop the other provinces as well. This is unheard of, normally, so it seems that he seems to hold some sway over the guild. Therefore, you will also address his plea for aid. This man, simply known as Jack, probably some sort of name to keep himself clear of unwanted eyes, is looking for something very specific, something that could be found anywhere, but is very peculiar nonetheless. It seems to be a person that is interested in soul-based magic. And he has cast a wide net throughout the entirety of the guild looking for different stones that could house souls. Very dangerous and intense magic indeed. You will enter the Cerulean Circle and also enter in this mission, quest, whatever you want to call it, and procure some of these stones wherever you might find them. Farwater is a big city, and who knows, perhaps even this fish creature that you are talking about might house them in their lair. I do not care how you make this be, Tarush, but you will see to it that this is completed. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Uncle.
Good.
Yes, I understand. I will find this Jack of the Cerulean Circle, and I shall aid him in his mission on your behalf.
Good. On behalf of our house, Tarush.
Yes.
Very well.
Apologies on behalf of Don Silvas.
Now then, in my grace, I have granted you some leniency, but it seems that your rails need to be tightened for your own good, of course, so that you might prove worthy to our house. Therefore, let's see, we are living at the 22nd of Platinum already. Farewell. You have till the end of the month to require any results, really. After that, I will no longer be this lenient.
Very well. Thank you, Uncle, for your understanding and your mercy.
Yes. Do not let my grace be unjustified, Tarush.
Yes, I shall procure results for you by the end of this month. The mission, it's this beast. You will slay it within the week. I
Good.
shall let word of this spread throughout the kingdom, throughout the empire. You will hear of it, and I shall report to you personally.
Good. Now be on your way. Be productive for once. And with that, the connection fades and exits your mind.
So Tarush, after staring at his beer for a very long time, finally, it seems, decides that it seems drinkable. And he looks up and smiles.
All of you go
What were
ahead
you
and make
talking
a
about?
perception check to see what you might have gleaned off of his face while this has transpired.
13.
22.
22.
23.
Oh, nice.
23.
Which roll was it?
Perception.
Perception 18.
My
18, right.
deception DC would be, I guess, 19, if that...
Yeah, but I will give you a harsh penalty for this because this was
Fair.
like very what you call it
Painful.
invasive, painful, but also Tarush had no time to prepare for what had transpired right now. So that would be like a -2 or a -5, which doesn't really matter. It still
Fair.
remains the same that Jack, Edge, and Olam, as you have had some time to look at Tarush, you have seen many, many emotions across his face. You have seen joy, grandeur, anger, frustration, but you have never seen him downtrodden. For the first time, you have seen Tarush just like peer into his cup for a moment and just like his shoulders hanging forward a little bit, just sadness on his face. And then eventually, as seemingly whatever had transpired ends, you can hear him almost like sighing shudderingly, like. But then he quickly finds his composure once again, and he's the old self. But nevertheless, this was. What the hell happened to him?
What were we talking about again? Sorry.
Right.
Well, maybe we should talk about how you are feeling now. Because you were doing things with your face, and I think you had something in there.
And that is my cue. And can this be the part where I just grab Zarel by the scruff and take him upstairs?
I thought we were still. So, Jack, I will be back for this.
Yeah, fuck they will. So Tarush looks at
I was just thinking of the next person I want to kill.
Well, just left, so
Yes. Someone else just got bumped up on that list. My family, they're part of the Cerulean Circle. In a way.
and I look over at Lyra, who had already gleaned, had scratched out some of this information herself.
And simply put, my current boss is my uncle.
Tarush, go ahead and make a perception check yourself right now.
20 total.
20 total. It seems that Lyra actually wants to make this clear, and as you say these words, she had first looked at you with a look of like scanning, trying to understand what was going on, like this analytic look on her face that you have seen many times before, as she's like trying to calculate the situation and seemingly still previously being in like that place where she was trying to ascertain how far you guys are allies and how far you guys are enemies. But now with that, she gives like a sad smile down to the table and just scoops her cup over to yours and just clinks it softly in a matter of understanding, and then takes a sip.
And my uncle is the slimiest slug you'll ever encounter.
That is not good.
Good question. No, what do you think of the shepherd as a person, as far as you know? Is he a good guy, a bad guy, Olam?
Well, I don't think he is a good guy. No, I do think I wouldn't like him.
Yeah, think of my uncle as much worse.
Oh, that's not good.
So, he contacted me just now. I am to... I have to request from the...
And he looks over at like, he hears like, boom, the door to Edge's room closing.
The four of you.
Over the ambient noise in the lake house? Doubtful.
I don't know, you're not fair, but still, like, he
This
looks
is
over
like
at the room and sees
This is
it.
a temple full of drunken people making music, sharing stories. This is
it
a
would be
pub.
very
That's
aggressive,
not a yes and, Abe,
aggressive door.
but still.
You're just
And you're
very
metagaming,
loud.
you're not even there.
I totally get what you mean, Tarush. I mean, I had some family troubles as well with an uncle, but now Georgie is very, very nice and quiet.
Yeah.
What?
No, I'm making a joke. Georgie wasn't my uncle.
Were I able to prop my uncle up as such a corpse and put him, de-glorify him in such a manner, that would be wonderful. But for now, I have to adhere to his wishes. So I have to request to the four of you that once we kill the shepherd, that I get first pick of both the innards of the shepherd and the things that we find in his lair.
But you said your uncle is more bad than the shepherd.
Yes,
But we are going to help him.
I understand. My uncle is a terrible man, but he is part of a system that ultimately helps the people.
So it's not like the curse.
It is not like the curse. He is a bad man who does petty things, but ultimately he aids the greater good, despite him trying not to. The Cerulean Circle is an organization that helps people, in a way.
Okay.
It's difficult to explain, but
if we have to attack him at some time, you should tell us. Because if he's going to do some curse stuff, that's not good.
I will take you up on that offer, Olam. Most definitely.
And you see Tarush kind of just like, for just a few seconds, he's like making plans.
But yes. Either way, I must request the first pick in order to pay tribute to the Cerulean Circle. Would that be okay with all of you?
What are you going to pick?
Yeah.
I don't know. I will know when I see it. It is difficult to describe.
I do want to see what you are going to pick if you do.
Absolutely.
But if you, I don't want anything from it probably, so it's fine by me.
I require anything with a connection to the, well, basically the prehistoric age where dragons ruled our continent. This creature, the shepherd, will probably be connected to it, and, well, being its own kind of prehistoric, or it will have knowledge of these things. I hope to be able to pick its mind before we kill it, but I do not truly see any circumstance in which we are able to peacefully converse with it and ask questions or interrogate it. Therefore, I shall probably have to do with whatever clues I can find in its lair.
I was thinking that picking his mind was getting his brain out, but I get what you mean now.
Oh, well, his brain would actually make a great ingredient for some never mind. Regardless, yes.
Jack, Crowan, as Tarush is speaking these words, go ahead and make me. God, basically any intelligence based check might suffice. Like arcane, nature, what have you.
20 total.
20 total?
Ooh. Wee. I'm gonna make an arcane check in this case for a 28.
28. All right. Within the Eurasian Empire that you find yourselves in, there are many different races and the like, all strewn together under the banner of the Empire. And with it, there are also a lot of different origin stories of the world and different legends and the like. But the main origin story, like creational myth of the Empire, is one that talks about the gods eventually starting to create mortal races. And the first race that they created was the race of noble dragons. And there are ancient records, like thousands and thousands of years ago, only spoken of in old legends, that eventually there was at the dawn of time a like the nomenclature is a little bit unclear. It might be the first war or the war of the first, as the first children of the gods, where the line between what is considered a good dragon and what is considered a bad dragon, an evil dragon, had been decided. There was, on the one hand, the chromatic dragons that found themselves in a position that they saw the rest of the different humanoids underneath them as, well, like in if you want to badmouth them, they would see them as cattle. But in their eyes, they would see them as their children that they needed to lead. So the chromatic dragons saw themselves as beings fit to lead the mortal races, and in so doing, elevate them to greater heights. Where the metallic dragons wished to give freedom to all of the races and like not really lead them, but guide them from the distance and let them flourish freely. Eventually, it seemed that as you guys are not living under chromatic dragon overlords, the metallic dragons won. But in this mythical war, both sides of dragons, as very magical beings, constructed all kinds of magical items and machines of war that were used by themselves, but were also gifted to humanoids that fought on their behalf, and the like. So if there would be relics of this past, like you both know the legends, like relics of this age, so incredibly old, so incredibly powerful, are like well sought of prizes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Cronin is not gonna say anything about that. He's just gonna wait and see what Terutius picks, and if it's like a big nuke, he might have a way to object.
I think I agree with Tarouche. And also, I mean, we can notice that Tarouche is not really feeling the vibes for his uncle. So, um, I feel that he does not agree with it as well.
Then
You
as the
are correct.
silence then as the silence falls over this table, eventually Lyra picks up her cup and says, "To bureaucracy then. A worse plague than any disease."
Indeed, to bureaucracy. Oh,
I think Cronin's gonna finish his drink and just go to sleep then,
All right.
because it's quite late.
As a lot of different things have transpired then this evening, and after Jack had already conversed a little bit of his hometown, but then Zarel got pulled away by Edge, that conversation must wait for another time. Each and every one of you go your own ways and go do the things that you do at night.
Yeah. Tarush will stay as long as he is physically able. He will keep drinking and just chatting with whomever stays behind until he's alone, at which point he'll probably go to bed.
Lyra stays at you at the very least. Just doing some basically edutainment small talk, you know? Like you dropped basically your mission that you were doing here within the Cerulean Circle, and she begins to tell that an assignment to find relics of such an ancient past must be very interesting, and she begins to tell of like different stories that she heard of relics of this draconic age, as well as of other ancient times and civilizations that had come before. Another one that is a little bit more recent but also ancient history is the fall of the Light Elf Society long ago, and how it is still a mystery how no records of these beings remain. But some ancient technologies had just been uncovered, such as the age-old method that they used of phase locking, where you can basically put two items next to each other, but somehow through magical means lock them in place from one another. Stronger bond than anything, which is very interesting. And you go over the arcane formulae, how this sort of enchantment process might work. And
We start
as the
writing
time-
formulae on little
Napkins.
yeah, napkins,
Napkins,
and
yeah.
yeah.
and then eventually like ripping them up as they make no sense, and the wine flows a little bit more deeply, and so you sense that she has a certain understanding by what you're going through, trying to alleviate whatever stress you have by, like, having entertaining conversations, but also stimulating your mind a little bit so it's kept off of the bad thoughts.
So eventually, Tarush kind of looks down, blinks as he's overtaken by the amounts of alcohol he's had.
I simply must. I must find my bed, or I will collapse here at this moment. Join me? Maybe?
Smooth.
Let's see here. Okay. She steps up from the table. Her staff, like, puts itself on the ground. She tried to do it in a motion of, like, righting herself, but mostly she needs to lean on her staff a little bit as the alcohol also starts to hit her. Of course, you would never find your way there on yourself. Own.
Yes. And I lead her back to my room where we both immediately fall asleep. In a drunken coma.
At which point, Jack exits the table. I
And
was
so
still
does
sitting there. I was
Vincent.
like,
Yeah, that seems that if anyone left the
I think I'm
table,
going
it's
to go
Vincent
to
right
bed as
now.
well.
Jack was sitting there like,
I think I'm going to bed as well. Yes.
Very well. Then, as the last individuals have left the bar area and all of you have retreated to your own quarters, while perhaps some things might happen there that you, God damn it, Vincent, fix your fucking internet. We will go ahead and take a little break.
Sounds good.
oh, he keeps popping in and out. I can't change
Yeah.
the screen enough. All right, everyone, going on break now. See you in
Yeah.
15 minutes.
See you in 50 minutes. Goodbye.
Okay.
Hey, 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 hey.
And we're back. So, to jump back into our game. Last we left off, our heroes, known as the Pack, trying to rid the vast city of Farwater from a magical plague, had pinpointed the source of this plague to a ancient fish creature with mental powers that had taken up refuge within the city limits, spreading its foul dark magic to each and every one that would want to listen as a dark shepherd, which it called itself. You had one by one rid this city of the different, somewhat higher placed individuals that had been corrupted by the shepherd's influences, and now found yourself at the end of a long, hard-working night, retreating towards your abode within a temple/tavern known as the Lake House. Next to that, however, as the moment of rest came to you all, a lot of personal issues also made themselves known. Edge now travels with a small little imp familiar that has taken up refuge within their familiar Nox. Olam has learned that the stars themselves are wishing to communicate with her. Crowan got assaulted by a ghost. Jack got a gift from home in the form of a very well preserved farmer zombie. And Tarush got a phone call, a telepathic bond from the capital of his uncle, wishing to ask why he hasn't brought up any results with his work within the Ceronian Circle. As all of you, one by one, made your way to your sleeping quarters to think over the events of the day, not everyone went alone. As Edge pulled Zorel, the High Host, or the High Priest slash leader of the Lake House, with them to a private quarters, Tarush also seemingly finding some recognition in the eyes of Lyra, the wizard enchantress that seemingly also came from some sort of at least higher upbringing, eventually joined Tarush in a drunken stupor to their own bedroom to at least sleep off the ruse. Now, as all of you have made your ways to private sleeping arrangements, is there anything anyone would like to do before we venture forth toward the morning? I had my suspicions edge, so therefore we still have like the night ambience going on. So, eventually, after 6 rounds with Zorel,
Nice.
you
Like 6 rounds of 6 seconds? That's not that much. But
rounds.
okay.
No. That's a goddamn it. No, not those. You know what rounds I mean.
6 rounds of 6 seconds.
Wait, that isn't normal?
So anyway, after having a very nice and you know, if you have like walked for a very long time, it's very nice to hop on your bike and have your muscles do like some different motions. After a day of having like combat motions, it is very nice to do some more, let's call them
Combat
flexible. Ooh, come on, that's gross. I was more thinking like flexible rhythmic motions, something like that. It
Or-
does help.
But like pop isn't rhythmical.
You can still make
anybody's-
combat moves.
If anybody's popping, it would be Zorel right now.
I mean,
It's
hey,
good that we're 18 plus on this stream.
And Edge is not against being on top.
No, fair enough. Like Zorel would also completely be switched, by the way. Like, he would-
100%.
He would be way too interested
to see what my tail can do.
what anybody could do. So he would want to taste all of the different fruits. However,
Really?
eventually, he must eventually excuse himself as he closes his robe and goes, Edge, although it was very, very healthy, I am afraid that I do still have some business to attend to. Is it okay that I leave you alone for a second?
I think I can manage.
Great.
I wanted to go for a run before sleep anyway.
A run? Fucking adventurers. Before he closes the door behind himself, he just, over his shoulder, goes, you could leave the door open if you so wish. And then closes it up. Moves out.
Okay.
But now you are actually in private arrangements, which perhaps you also needed a second for. What would you like to do?
Just in case he comes back
Comes back.
mid potential conversation,
Mm-hmm.
Edge is going to just very quickly put on some clothes. Leave the door ajar just a little bit. They're not sure whether they're coming back just yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And go outside to the dock. Make sure they're alone.
Well, there are different docks that you might find yourself. You could try to go to the most eastern walls of the city and make your way through there. You have already have conversed with a couple of guards standing there, and you at least are a little bit known and got yeah, there we go. In the background, Nox is like sitting on one of the other beds, like grooming himself a little bit. But you could go to those docks. However, within the city limits, there is like the lifeline of Farwater, the eastern main, the main canal turned river further inward that goes all the way to the capital. Houses also different docks because like the entirety of this canal is, how much would it be? Like a couple of hundred
lot.
feet at the least. Yeah. You know that there are, because you have walked through this city a number of days now. You are getting yourself a little bit familiar with the different places that you might go. So you could also go to the very heart of the core town district where you find yourself in right now, and walk all the way to like the main marketplaces, which at this hour of night would be pretty much deserted and quiet. You could also make your way to one of the two large bridges that cross this river, as you have the Stamen Bridge and the no, wait, the Stamen Bridge would be like the main bridge in the core town district where you are right now. All might be places where you can find refuse with running water and quiet.
Whichever is closest.
Very well.
I guess.
In that case, you make your way to the Eastern Main, which is a somewhat quiet, like 10 to 15 minutes walk. And as you do so, it seems that your small little companion also realizes what's going on, as you feel Nox like rummage through your backpack for a moment, as eventually it seemingly finds what he's looking for, and he perched itself on your shoulder, and then he begins to use a tinderbox on the pipe that it had required. And as you look on your shoulder, you can see that the normal rounded pupils are um, exchanged for the slithered pupils and like deep yellow eyes of Imp coming to the foreground. Man, you guys fuck. A lot.
You guys meaning people like me, people like him, people in general.
I know people in general fuck, but the two of you? Damn, bitch. Go get some.
Yeah, he's a good sparring partner.
I just want to say, if anyone likes this, go watch Disenchanted on Netflix.
Hell yeah, indeed.
That is pretty good, yeah. So, since you came straight out of the gate, I'm going to do the same.
I figured
These
as much.
questions you promised me. Since you have been living in my monkey for quite some time now, I believe you owe me at least one answer.
Well, I guess after you got filled with flow, now it's time to get filled with some knowledge then?
God damn it, man.
What kind of questions do you have for me, Edge? Now we'll see if I can give away some freebies.
Who is your benefactor?
As a wise man once said, who is but the form of what? And what my master is someone that wishes you to learn of your roots, so to speak.
Ave kind of feels like
Oh,
Edge
Ape
feels
kind of
like
feels.
Edge feels like that isn't an answer, but Ave is like, fuck, he did answer the question. That's annoying.
Let me ask you something. What do you know of your mother?
I know she left me in the care of a monster. I know that she wanted more for me. But I don't know who she is or what she is. Just that she gave me these, and I run a finger down my horns. And this, and I crack my tail as a whip.
Indeed. Isn't it ironic then that people call me, or perhaps even us, the monsters?
I have seen monsters in many shapes and forms, and they look nothing like us.
Good.
I have read a bit about what I am called.
Which is?
A tiefling. And that we are generally thought to be evil.
Would you like to know more?
If who someone is can be answered by what someone is, then what someone is can be answered by who they are. I know who I am.
But you do not know everything just yet. And if you would let me and my benefactor lead you on the path to more understanding, then this path must start with simple steps at first. Let me ask you this. Do you know that there are many kinds of tieflings within this world? Do you know the differences?
I suppose the difference has something to do with their heritage, who their parents are.
Indeed. Roughly, tieflings can be split up into a couple of broad spectrums. Many different tieflings have blood. Well, all tieflings have at least the heritage of what is known as fiends. Us beings from such a foul name, the lower planes of existence, outside of this material realm. But there are very many different kinds of fiends. You got your demons, daemons, devils, Yugoloks, other weird shit. Some of them even created right here on the material plane itself. And then, of course, with demons, you have the Abyss with its infinite layers and variations. The Nine Hells, which, let's face it, 9 kinda gives it away. And all of the other lower planes that house all different kinds of varieties. So many varieties. You want to know which variety you are?
What will it cost me?
It will not cost you anything, Edge. It just requires a commitment to take steps along the path that my benefactor searches for you. With understanding comes action. I can tell you all of these different things, but that will not make you understand. Doing is as much a teaching method as hearing. Not only your mind, but your body must walk this path as well.
And what if I don't like where this path is taking me? Then what?
Then you can refuse. And I will leave Nox your side, and all your ignorance be where it lie. Although then your mother would be very disappointed, I think.
It's difficult to disappoint someone you've never known.
But you are curious, are you not?
Of course I'm curious.
Well then, let's start small. You want to pick that up, or?
It wasn't me.
No. Like Imp says it to one walking by, who just goes like, "Oh, sorry, he's too drunk to understand that a monkey just talked to him," and walks on. The type of fiend where you find yourself, or where you find your heritage in Edge, is one that understands that power sometimes must be used forcibly. You remember your time within the Vedius estate? We needed to right a wrong. make things clear to that bitch that you and your companions almost die. I think you and I both know that she will remember the lesson that you have given her. A good lesson. A harsh one. Dude, fuck, I can still see your bloody knuckles. A harsh one, for sure, but you saw the look in her eyes afterwards. She wasn't sad. Well, she was sad. She was a sad mess, but she wasn't angry at you. Because what you also saw in those eyes was understanding. The lesson that you taught her will stay with her. And I believe she will be a better person because of it. You hear the noises coming from that there place. Random tavern over there. You can already hear some roughhousing going on. If you take a good look, you can see that not even a bar maiden anymore at this point, simply just the wife of the owner, is trying to make sure that all of these rowdy sailors are given drinks. But it doesn't seem that they're actually looking for drinks, they're more looking for entertainment. Entertainment that she does not feel like giving. What do you think? Do these men deserve a
Crack my
lesson?
knuckles before he even finishes talking.
You see, you were already walking this path before I showed up. Do as you see fit, Edge. Teach people a lesson that needed learned, and in exchange, I will tell you the type of tiefling that you are. Oh god, you're already going. I guess we have a deal. He quickly puts out his pipe, and you walk over, and you find yourself on the precipice of like a very small, quaint little tavern that is built like in the corner of one of these large squares. Very small, very particular, but in a prime location. Badly maintained, but probably still costing so much to just be here. And as you open the door, you see that the entire tavern is no more than like 20 by 20 feet, 6 by 6 meters, with like the bar itself being like the right hand corner of the establishment. And at the very end of that corner of a bar, a spiraling staircase that goes up to probably like the storage space and the living quarters of said man and woman that have this bar under their control, or at least are trying so. As you can see, that right now the man standing behind the bar, like not very elderly, but like hitting 50 human, bald on top, except for a couple of strands that are like completely pushed against his scalp by sweat, a little bit pot-bellied, apron over, completely filled with all different kinds of smears and filth, just quickly trying to like keep everything running, trying to keep the tap running. And on the other side of the bar, you see what you presume to be his wife, similar age, graying black hair in a bun, also a little bit rotund woman, who is just trying to get all of these drinks out as quickly as possible. And right now, you can see that she is like putting all of the drinks down and is asking for payment. And right now, the different patrons that you see sitting, stinking around her, like slapping her on the hind side while she just goes, "Please, just pay your tab. Oh, come on, give us a little bit more sugar than these meads have." They take a couple of sips, and the rest of the bar is also completely filled. The like 6 tables completely packed to the brim. The sad thing is that what is happening here is a good night for these people, because at least they have a lot of clients. Would you like to?
Are all the clients inside the rowdy sailors?
It seems to be that an entire, because you can also see that all of the attire of the different people all match in some way, shape, or form. So they seem, probably this is like one crew of a ship that just entered and is completely filling this establishment. Oh, by the way, the establishment is called the Savory Eagle.
Love it. Oh, that's so good. I love it.
And some of them are less worse than others, but you see the table
If
that
they're
she's
not
standing.
stopping the problem, they're a part of the problem.
And it seems
Yeah.
that the table that she is waiting right now is probably holding some of the, well, at least from the group that is here, the higher, officers of this place, but still just rank and fodder people that are probably on a little bit of a power trip right now.
Power plus alcohol equals, yeah.
And as you let the door fall closed, cling, for a moment, one of these people that actually grabbed the ass of the waitress, like, turns around, takes another sip, and goes, "Ugh, who let the chicken stinking of rotten eggs? Go back to hell, devil." And he turns around, takes another swig.
Before he can turn around, I'm going to let my magic pulse into my eyes and across my arms, have the pattern go over my tattoos. I'm gonna grab my quarterstaff behind me and give a little nod at the woman to get behind the bar.
Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
Oh boy!
Boy.
I'm gonna use my last hero point because that was
Mhm.
shit. This needs to be good. Come on, baby. You can do better than that. I know you can. Please. That's a natural 2.
Oh, I hate that
Aw.
face. You take the highest?
Oh, I
What
take
was
the
the
highest,
first-
then it's a natural 4.
Yeah.
For a total of 13.
For a total of 13.
Please let them be so drunk that I look incredibly scary.
Flat-footed
Well-
and drunk.
Well, they don't size you up correctly then, it seems, because one of the guys, what seemingly the head honcho, is quite drunk, like wipes his nose, stands up, chair pushed back. He himself also a little bit pot-bellied, completely shaven head, as he just stands up and goes, "Missy, this is none of your business. Go back to the hole you crawled out of." As he takes another swig and also, like, needs to fall back on his hind leg as he does, as the elderly woman, the barmaid, just goes, "Just go." Just mouthing like, "It's okay, just go."
That is the magic word to get involved.
What do you do?
Have you ever seen The Kingsman?
I have.
I'm gonna turn around and with my quarterstaff just swipe one of the ales on another table and aim it at his head.
Manners maketh man.
Exactly.
Go ahead and make an athletics check for me. Or an attack roll, your choice.
Okay, you're going into dice jail. Somebody give me a hero point, please, because I really need to re-roll that one. That was a natural 1.
Natural 1?
Oh man.
Well, I mean, that just means you kind of just break one of the glasses, right?
Well, what happens is,
Yeah, but it's
As
a
you-
critical failure.
Oh,
what
right.
happens is, as you get your staff at the ready, you fling the glass towards this person, but in this very moment, you understand why he perhaps is acting so righteously and is probably the head honcho, as he, still in his drunken stupor, can get his hand up, makes some gestures, and he is able to catch the liquid of the empty of the glass in midair. The empty cup still flings and taps himself harmlessly at the shoulder as he is, with some magical means, hydromancing this little bit of fluid and just splashes it on the ground and goes, "Looks like we have a fighter, boys." And the rest just like begins to snicker a little bit. "Oh, come on then, let's dance." I would like you to roll initiative as at this moment.
What do I take as my initiative? Oh, they're all rolling shit. I hate this. Oh my god.
Perception right now.
11.
11. All right, he has a 9, so you still win.
Okay. Oh, I'm sweating already. Jesus, we haven't even started yet. Oh my god, what did I do?
I see
I
what
really
you're
shouldn't
doing,
do
Abe.
this until I'm like level 10 against level 2 people, and it's actually intimidating. Okay, I'm scared to roll my dice now. Okay. Well,
What do you do?
Pop, pop, flurry of blows.
All right. Flurry of Blows against the Drunk Hydromancer.
Yeah, first one misses.
Well, what was the roll?
The first one was a natural 2
Okay, yeah. That
for
would be,
a total of 8.
nah, that still misses.
The second one is a math. Yeah, 9 with the penalty. Fuck!
Still misses, I'm afraid. So right now, your blows, because you're hitting him with the quarterstaff.
Yeah.
As of this moment, he just pulls his hands up, and while you whack both of his arms on each side, it seems that his long days aboard his vessel have hardened him to the blows of wood, and he just takes them at this moment.
Okay. Okay. I feel a familiar rage build up inside me. I would like to rage. Oh, god damn it. And yeah, I'm gonna drop my quarterstaff and go in with a regular punch.
Go ahead.
I don't want to play this game anymore.
What was it?
It's a natural 2 again.
Holy
Natural 2 again?
shit,
And
Abe.
that's the die that you guys gave me. This one has been shit since day 1. I hate this die. This is why I
Even-
use it as a DM, so my players get all the benefits.
Even I feel kind of sorry for you now, Abe. Damn.
Well, of course you do, but Tarush wouldn't. Tarush would be laughing his balls out of his G-string.
I don't
Last
know what
action,
Tarush
Edge.
would do, but holy
Last
shit.
action, I'm gonna hiss at the imp on my shoulder and go, a little help would be nice.
What? You're doing fine. He says sarcastically. He says sarcastically. All right. At this moment, however, as the blows, you do hear like the drunken sailor belch a little bit as the last blow did hit him in the stomach, but it seems that the alcohol is just deafening the blow a little bit. Oh, bitch. And he takes up one hand and begins to like conjure up this bolt of pulsating foul water as he is going to cast Hydraulic Push against you. As a torrent of water tries to hit you for a total of, that is going to be 16 to hit.
Mess. I thought
Miss.
I'd get the low rolls out of my dice, but no, and one of them escaped. But it's fine.
Well, so as he stands there, you quickly dodge out of the way as the hydraulic push goes wide and actually begins to coast the other side of the bar and all its companions in this, well, basically this pulsating beam of foul water as all of them, come on! Shit. And he then goes in for just a normal punch at you for a total of 11. So that one
Misses.
also
Yeah.
completely goes wide. Back to you.
I'm gonna just right now thank Timmy for the hero point. Also, welcome home, bud, because I have a feeling I'm gonna need it. Oh man. Okay.
What do you do?
Pop, flurry of blows. Ooh, that's better. First one is a 19 to hit.
19 hits.
Okay. Second one's a 11 to hit.
11 misses, I'm afraid.
Oh, okay.
But this time, with the first punch, you
Stunning
punch
strike.
open its defense, and you finally get that one nice punch in. You roll up your fist, and you can actually see his belly like ripple with the impact. He needs to make a
Fortitude save.
fortitude save.
And that's a total of 7 damage to him.
And that's a total of 10 on its fortitude save.
That misses.
7 points of fails.
Yeah, fails. I have an 18 DC.
All right, so he loses one of his actions as you get him right, like you basically liver punch him, like right there. He winces for a moment as he actually belches a little bit, and a little bit of the drink that he had is now pulled over the floor. Fucking bitch! And he then goes just for 2 haymakers towards you.
Wait, I still have 2.
Oh, sorry, you still have turns left. Excuse me.
I'm gonna hiss at him and say, "You almost have my name right. It's Edge, not bitch." And I want to go for another punch in his face.
Go right ahead.
Nope, that's natural 1. These dice are being awesome.
What the hell, Edge?
I know. I brought the whole bag. It's. I think they're mad at me for not using them.
As you throw another punch at his face, this time he actually catches your fist. And as he begins to twirl it to the side, he just looks at you menacingly, grinning, seeing that he has a couple of black teeth, like, no, you're just a bitch, all right. At which point you hear the small voice of Imp. Edge, come on. Your mom give you a little bit more than just the powers of your fist. He seems drenched.
Okay. That's still gonna take a big fucking penalty, though.
Still at -10 at this point, yeah. You can use it on your next turn, of course.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna wait for it and just like.
All right. Last action.
glare. I'm gonna hiss at him for my last action, and just like keep my magic crackling in my eyes.
In that case,
I'm
that would
really
be
pissed
an
off.
intimidation check. So go ahead and roll me an intimidation.
I'm gonna use my Bork die for that. See if it's a
The
little
Bork die.
kinder. And it is with a natural 12 for a total of 21.
All right. So
Yes.
with that, as he is like not hissing, but like just laughing in your face, as you hear Imp give you a suggestion, slowly but surely the electrical bolts of purple lightning black lightning running across your arms begin to crackle a little bit, and that same energy finds its way into your eyes as this person from laughing in your face goes to, what the fuck even are you? As he is intimidated, so he takes a -1 to basically everything right now. What? Fuck! And he pushes you away, and then with one action just goes to the rest. Well, come on, you bastards! Help me already! And then goes in for his last action with just like 1 haymaker towards you, for a total of, with the -1 of your intimidate, that would be a 8 to hit right now.
Oh, that misses so
So
bad.
that one goes-
My AC is 20, by the way, so I don't know if
Oh.
that makes it a critical failure.
Well, a critical failure with a normal attack roll doesn't do anything unless you have some specific capabilities that you can use. But nonetheless, like this time, the blow goes and you quickly just like grab it and you can pull him into yourself, putting him a little bit off balance as the electrical energy now begins to crackle in your hands. What do you do?
I kind of want to pull a Mr. Penguin, but
Oh no, do whatever you want.
Penguin.
What do you want to do?
does anybody even know the Tim Burton Batman movie I'm hinting at? Want to
Wait,
bite him
Missed
on the
it,
nose?
though.
Oh,
Oh,
damn.
fucking Tim
Go
Burton.
for it. Fucking go for it. That's still an unarmed strike, so you can still do it.
But I don't count the plus something from my hand wraps then, right?
I'll give it to you.
Oh yeah. No, you do, because your hand wraps apply to all unarmed strikes.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's
Yeah, it's
Even if you
basically
use your tails, your feet, like
okay.
the game
Okay.
doesn't want to restrict you on
No.
flavor.
I think these are my anger dice, because I rolled a natural 17 on this,
Nice.
For a total of?
for a total of 26.
And
26.
can I say, as Edge does this, the artifact enhances it.
Oh, snap. Oh, hell
like,
yeah.
lightning crackling out of my mouth into his face.
Ooh, hell yeah. Okay, so with that, thank you, Nideko. Edge, 26, that's a critical hit. So go ahead and roll double damage for that one.
Yeah, same kind of damage for my unarmed strike, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just an unarmed
okay.
attack.
First die is a 5.
Okay.
Second die is also a 5.
All right.
So that's 13 damage.
13. How do you want to do this?
Yeah, I just like,
Yes.
as I pull him in, I just like bite him on the nose, and while I'm biting, in a very weird way, keep making eye contact, and the lightning just shoots from my eyes into his and fries his brain.
As this encounter has given you a little bit more trouble than you had surmised before, it seems that the small little, with lack of better words, edge that your heritage gives you, as the electricity eventually, with the words of Imp, begins to course through your veins, that energy also gives with it a serene sense of clarity, as you feel at that very moment that you are in complete control of the situation. His
Sure.
haymaker, because his haymaker goes completely wide with a critical failure. So without effort, you can see his hand, you grab it, and pull him towards you. You look in his eyes, and you can see nothing but fear, as you can see almost your eyes are glowing in the reflection of his eyes, and you bite down. At that point, somewhere from within the lake house, a small little whiff of green energy finds its way to you as a burst of lightning emanates from you as you bite down hard on his nose. You can hear him go for a couple of excruciating seconds as bolts of lightning crackle throughout the entirety of this abode as you completely bite off his nose and now have it bleeding, foul tasting in your mouth as the last crackling bolts of energy go wide and his body just falls limp on the ground. The rest of the sailors, shocked, horrified, sit there for a moment, after which they quickly scramble to get out, leaving behind...
Before that, as they're like shocked and looking at me, I spit the nose out on the table. Pay your fucking bill and get the fuck out.
Go ahead and make an intimidation check. And basically your DC will be 10 lower because of the circumstances.
Watch Ape roll another one.
No,
Could be.
it's a natural 14.
Yeah!
Very close to a nat 20.
Yeah.
For a
So-
total of 23.
Like after this, it would be very difficult to not get a critical success on this intimidation, as still completely shocked, all of the sailors then not scramble for the door, scramble for their pouches, and you can hear like a shower of copper and silver pieces wrinkle across the entire establishment as you still stand there, heaving in devilish might, as all of them try to stay as far away from you as they make their way to the door.
The ones that look extra scared, it just go like this as they pass.
And then just tumble over each other. You then see that there are but two people still horrified left in this establishment, which is the barkeep and his wife, the bar maiden.
I
Speak.
wipe my mouth, compose myself, take 2 gold coins from my purse, put them down on the table. For your trouble tonight. And I just leave.
There's like, there goes my business.
Go ahead and just make a straight
2
up
gold
charisma
pieces
roll.
is gonna make up for any kind of damage I just did tonight.
Well, maybe, I don't know, clientele, maybe I'm not going to that bar again. Fuck!
Straight charisma,
Straight charisma.
18 total.
Damn, that's very high for a straight charisma roll.
Yeah,
So
I rolled
as-
a 14 and I have a +4.
So as this is going on, you heave, you ho, all of them exit the tavern. The barkeep has now like acquired his wife and is pushing her away behind him a little bit He's very unsure of what the hell is happening as you take 1 step to the bar, 2 steps to the bar, still silent. You get out 2 gold pieces, show them clearly, put them on the bar, and with 2 fingers you slide them forward. And as you say those words, "For your trouble," you see the barman swallow and give you a nod of understanding and respect as you exit silently.
Yeah, the second I'm out of earshot from the tavern, I just go like, "Whoa, that was so fucking cool! I really thought I was going to lose it in there, but holy shit, I keep forgetting about my lightning."
Lightning's good shit. Lightning's good shit
Give me a
indeed.
puff of that, and I just like inhale super deep and let out like a huge billow of smoke, just like slightly shaking from that altercation.
You know you have some herbs on you that you like to smoke, that you normally cut with tobacco. This was
I
pure.
would not, because of personal reasons outside of the game.
Fair enough.
That's why I carry a hip flask.
Fair enough. In
yeah.
that case, you do not notice, but Imp is very dissatisfied with only the normal tobacco that it can find on your person. But you can take a hefty streak of calming reagents as you begin to walk with Imp once again. And he just says, "Well, yeah, but your lightning is why I'm here, of course. And I do believe that, well, not all of them. I guess some casualties had to be made for the rest of them to have a good lesson this evening. But that was a good fucking, 2-for-1 deal. I think both the barkeep and his maiden have learned something this evening, as well as the sailors that, sobered up quite quickly, I think. Good shit.
So does that earn me an answer?
I believe
what
it does.
I am?
I believe it does. You, Edge, have held up your end of the bargain, and now so shall I. And as he says these words, you feel like a mystical tenseness elevate itself from your person as you begin to realize that these deals that he is striking with you have more than just words as an implication, but they do have some magical means to it, as you are now seemingly released from whatever bond these words had put on you, as your reward is now yours. Because you see, Edge, because you went above and beyond your expectations, me and my benefactor can be quite forthcoming with you this evening. First off, the information that I could give you on a normal job well done would be, of course, to tell you that you are indeed of devilish heritage. You see, different fiends have aligned themselves with different forms of law and chaos. Demons venture forth to go on with their business and just wreak havoc and get people to sin as much as they can. But us devils, we like to see ourselves as more organized. Sophisticated, perhaps, but you'll be the judge of that. What we like to do is be honest with each other, keep words, strike deals, and see to it that they are filled in full. And, after a job well done, some bonuses arrive as well. Because you see, there are 9 layers of hell. The very top one, the one where all the business happens, is the one where you find your roots. It is known as Avernus, a layer of constant and perpetual war. Because while different people might tell you that we are bad or evil, we are a necessary evil. What do you think that the infinite amount of demons do not find themselves all the way across the multiverse, wreaking havoc wherever they go. It is because we, your people, keep them in check. Avernus is the infinite battlegrounds on which we keep ever vigilant watch that no demon finds itself across the other planes. A realm of perpetual combat, sacrifice of our kind, so that the rest of these planes might rest easily. Because your forefathers, your people knew that this is a more pressing quarry than any moral bounds. Sometimes the end requires some means that others deem wrong. But sometimes you only can fight evil with evil. In a very similar way that you have just taught these sailors a lesson. You and I, we could reminisce about the fact that you have just taken a life. And I would understand that you feel bad about that. But you didn't strike me as someone...
I only feel bad because I just realized that I killed an officer. This might come back to haunt me. Just a little. In a very legal kind of way.
No worries, Edge. I didn't send you on this small assignment to have it bite in your backside once again.
You can say ass around me, you can say fuck, but you can't say ass? Come on, man.
Well, fuck your ass then. But... no.
Give him some scritches.
Oh, that actually feels nice. That's weird. Okay, but these are just the first steps on your journey to uncover what the hell you are. I didn't set you on a path to have you regret it with these first steps. Don't worry, this was a nobody. Simple merchant vessel that came into the harbor, which only real merit had what we have learned right now this day. And his life has at least inspired the rest of its crew.
If I would like to read up on my people, where should I go?
Now that is a good question, Edge. I can give you this information indeed. But I've learned you what our people do. What do you offer me in return?
Yeah, you gotta beat up some more people.
I mean, that wasn't terrible.
No, but this
I
step
like
in your journey
standing
has
up
done.
to the monsters in the world. Give me a suggestion and I'll see how I feel about it.
You like to stand up against the monsters of this world. And you've already told me that you understood that you and I are not any more of a monster than the people that rummage through this city. And you are looking for information about our people. Information that is kept not only from you, but from basically anybody. I'm afraid that we do not have a god that is part of the illustrious 11, so we are not permitted to teach. But that does not keep us from doing so. Here, within the city limits of Farwater itself, there exists a small but dedicated cult following. A cult following of not even a specific being within the Nine Hells, but more of them in general. They chant the name of our Lord, but he does not really heed it in any way, shape, or form. But nonetheless, these are people that are downtrodden as we speak. The cult is known as the cult of the Red Divine. These are people in need of your help. You see, there is one fanatic within these city limits. The Silver Sentinels don't even take heed of this small cult following. Really, it's like half a dozen people who like to read up on these sorts of things and keep them from book burning all that is to know about the devils. If you would be able to halt this fanatic in keeping this small group of friends downtrodden, then I'm very sure that these people will offer you all the information that they possess. I can guide you to them, if you agree to help them in their predicament.
Sounds like we have an agreement.
A deal it is, then.
And I hold out my hand to shake his tiny little paw.
Like, with great effort, he grasps your entire pinky. As you once again feel a small little tingle just like in the back of your neck, as if a small little shackle is just clinking in place. No heavier than a necklace, if you will, that you are now wearing across, but nevertheless a small little pressure of mystical energy on your person.
Now can I have my little buddy back, please?
Of course. After you give me a swig, though. I'm a monkey.
Just
It
a
will
little
not make...
one. Just
Yeah,
a little
I'm a
one. 'Cause
monkey.
But I don't want him to get sick.
I am monkey. I will drink little because I am monkey.
Okay, but even for monkey, just drink little, okay? And I like help him pour it a little bit, because for him it's like this big and heavy. Yeah, I just like help pour it just a little bit.
Oh, I'm dying
And
here,
then
poor
I take
Nox.
As he tries to take as big of a sip that you will allow
not
him.
happening.
Eventually, he does take a small sip. That'll have to do. And as he lives a small burp, a little bit of flame comes from his mouth. Whew! Spicy indeed. I will talk to you on one of our next soirees in the evening, and I will lead you to the Red Divine. Good evening. And the pupils go black again, wide, the yellowness of the eyes subsides, and Nox goes...
And I start giving him treats because he's such a good boy.
Doesn't really understand what's going on, but ooh,
It's
treats. Fuck yeah.
okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think I'll sleep in my own bed for what's left of the night.
Very well. Then, as you make your way back to the lake house, as you walk the streets of Farwater, you begin to see all kinds of different people walking the streets. You see people jovially connecting with each other, like real people can. But you also eventually find a couple of people looking at you with a mixture of fear and disgust. As you walk past, you also see a group of quote-unquote friends, but very clearly one of the friends seemed to be the butt of the joke the entire time, as they're all drunkenly pushing him aside a little bit, and he just goes, yeah, good one, as they make their way across the street. And you find many different places where lessons might be learned.
He's just turning into Batman. Social Justice Warrior Edition.
Yeah, no, like if Edge needed any more reason to not feel bad about punching the shit out of Tarush, this is gonna do it.
Batman, more like Red Hood here.
Red Hood. I
Red
don't know
Hood.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, Fair enough. Red Hood
I'm not that
is.
deep into comic
It's okay. It's
lore,
one of the
unfortunately.
Robins who apparently
Yeah.
got killed by the Joker. Turned out he
Oh,
was
and then
alive,
went
and he
cuckoo.
came back as a murdering vigilante who took over.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he went psycho killer, and it's a pretty cool story.
Basically decided that Batman was like a pussy. Like, not killing people? Nah,
Eh.
we can do some good with killing people.
I don't like guns, so you throw them off a building.
So, Edge, you eventually find yourself back in the lake house, and Zorel at this moment is on one of the tables. Right now, it would be early morning. Like, it is still dark outside, but the sky is beginning to color purple, dark blue instead of the blackness of night. As seemingly, Zorel has not had time to actually sleep. He's sitting there on a table, writing in some books, like looking over one, transcribing it to another, still with a hot beverage in front of him. But he has seen a lot of people, he has seen demeanors, and he just gives you a friendly nod, understanding with the like way you carry yourself.
I probably still have a little bit of like dried blood, like here, just like you can wipe blood, but it's gonna get caked somewhere. And
So-
my
So at first he nods like I understand, but then he takes a closer look and he goes, "Don't even tell me. Clean yourself up."
Yes, Daddy. And okay, I'm gonna give him a wink over my shoulder and go to his room anyway. Nobody tells me to clean myself up, but I'm not gonna make it dirty. Come on.
As you exit the room, he looks at both of his books.
Yeah, get an accountant.
He sighs, closes them both, downs his drink, straightens his jacket, and follows you. And that's where we'll end today's session.
Woo!
Video.
I mean, I didn't really see it because I was totally in the moment, but I love Crystal's comment where it's like, Crowan, don't do anything you can't undo. Edge, I'm gonna kill people.
Hell yeah.
I'm just. Wow. Okay. Hiccups. I'm just dying at the fact that Wouter used this situation to tempt Afe/Edge into
Yeah.
violence.
Yeah, I got incredibly rapey vibes as soon as he went. They're looking for entertainment, and I was just like, "Say no more, man. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
but
beat
like,
these bitches
yeah,
up."
exactly. Like, even out of character, they.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I
My
was like,
bartender
Wouter,
heart
you
cannot let that
mastermind.
happen to a colleague, whether they're real or not. Just saying.
Completely by coincidence, of course.
Of course.
Coincidental.
You didn't plan
I mean-
this out.
I mean, if I'm gonna tempt one of my characters into darkness, at least the least thing that I can do is make it a little bit more tempting by also tempting the player into darkness.
Yeah, yeah.
Devils?
Good though.
Devils are lawful evil.
Yeah.
They
Follow the
lead.
rules, sort
they
of.
lead. Others would say
This-
dominate, but lead people.
This is not gonna become a problem at all.
No,
whatsoever.
not at all. Not at all. Definitely if I don't, start taking levels in cleric at some point.
Let's go murder hoboing.
Not
Like,
murder hobo.
Like somewhere
Justified vigilante.
somewhere in Avernus, like on a burning couch, your mama was sitting there, like with a TV screen, also inflamed, of
That's
course,
my
because hell's.
baby.
Yeah, like taking another swig with like a cigar in her hand, like fuck yeah.
She probably indirectly gave me the idea where it's like pull him in to bite his nose. Go crazy.
Nice.
Oh
yeah.
I'm so hot right now though.
Good shit, guys.
Oh.
You
that's
always
a
are,
devilish
Ace.
blood. That's a devilish
I
blood.
know, right?
Good shit.
Yes.
So, once again, Amunra, thank you so much for all of the love that you have given, both money-wise and story-wise. Because do realize now that you, my good Sir Jack, have a zombie shambler at your disposal
I do.
that you
Written it down.
can do with whatever you want. And next to that, you still have to converse and tell the rest of us about your village and the like, because you still have a deal with Zorel, so we'll have to get back to that as well. Edge has taken a big second, I guess, step into the ways of devils. And Tarush
Big
has had
swing.
some family bonding time.
Some family bonding.
Good shit, guys.
Groovy.
Good heavy roleplay session, but I liked it.
It's good. It's good. I missed it.
I enjoyed it.
Likewise.
It's nice.
So for now, most of the story beads are bought, so stay tuned for next week when you can buy other different story-like elements, and we will continue this beautiful campaign because we still have a dark shepherd to eventually slay and harvest the brain from. Apparently.
Yeah, holy shit. If you're gonna keep adding story beats, I wonder if we're ever gonna get to that.
Like, at least I wanted to kickstart each and every one of the, like, personal ideas that I had for your characters. Of course, based on the backstories that you provided for me. But next to that, we, of course, can also find some other avenues into, like, more, main quest-related stories. But nevertheless, stay tuned for that, because you, of course, my dear chat, control all of us. I might be the game master, but I only work on your beck and call. So, for now, thank you so much for your enthusiasm in chat and your participation in whatever chaos we had here. Enjoy the last hour of your weekend. For the people in the Netherlands, enjoy your day off tomorrow with Pinksteren. And we hope to see you next week when we continue this beautiful adventure.
Yeah, it's Pinky Day.
Pinky Day.
It's called
What's-
Wit Weekend, guys.
Which weekend?
Wit.
Bye!
Which weekend?